Hi, I'm Barbara Rimkunis, and this is your Exeter History Minute. The pace of life in Exeter began to pick up in the late 1800s. Until that time, if you wanted to get someplace, you could walk or get there by horsepower, either riding or hitching up a buggy. You could take a train to Boston and get there in just over an hour, but to get to a neighboring town, or even visit friends in a different part of this town, you were back to hitching up Old Dobbin. Things began to pick up in the 1890s when bicycles became wildly popular. Bicycles allowed people, particularly women, to travel quickly without having to harness the horse. It provided a level of independence previously unknown. But what if you weren't fit enough to pedal from Exeter to Hampton, or you wanted to make the trip with a few children in tow? Enter a new form of transportation, the electric streetcar. There had been low murmurings about a streetcar system in Exeter since 1889, when a group of local investors set up a corporation called the Exeter Street Railway. But the project didn't move forward until 1897. It was then that the Rockingham Electric Company was created to provide power for the streetcars and for the surrounding area. It really was the streetcars that brought electricity to Exeter. Construction began on the rail line in the spring of 1897. By the 4th of July, the line extended from Hampton Beach to the Great Bridge in Exeter. Business was brisk that day, even though the entire loop into town wouldn't be completed until August. The streetcars traveled hourly or every 30 minutes, depending on the season, from Hampton Beach into downtown Exeter. You could pick up the trolley at the Folsom Tavern, back when it was located in the town square, or at the Lincoln Street Boston and Main Depot. In summer, the cars were open air to let in a cooling breeze, which was probably welcome when they were overcrowded. The trip from Exeter to Hampton Beach cost 15 cents, broken into 3 zones of 5 cents each. From Hampton Beach, you could catch another streetcar to Portsmouth, Amesbury, or Haverhill. Within the first few years of operation, the service expanded to become the Exeter, Hampton, and Amesbury Street Railway, and added cars to transport baggage, freight, and mail. It was granted its own postmark with an RPO, or Railroad Post Office designation, in 1900. Mail was sent 3 times each day, so it was possible to send a postcard to Hampton Beach in the morning and get a reply by lunchtime. It was almost like the email of today. In spite of its popularity, the streetcars never made much of a profit. This was mostly because other technologies quickly caught up with it. The postal line was discontinued by 1910 because people began using telephones for quick communication. But what really ruined it for the streetcars was the expansion of automobile travel. Even though early cars could be unreliable and cantankerous, people preferred them to crowded streetcars. This 1915 photo of Hampton Beach on the 4th of July illustrates the problem. By the 1920s, ridership was down, and the Exeter, Hampton, and Amesbury Street Railway made its last run to Exeter in 1926. So streetcar transportation turned out to be a transitional technology, a bridge between the horse and buggy days and our modern infatuation with the car. We have to toss a bit of credit to the bicyclists who demanded better roads, but it really was the streetcars that convinced people to get out and travel more. Today there's renewed interest in public transportation. Perhaps it's time to rethink the streetcar system. For more Exeter history, check out our website at www.exeterhistory.org.